Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, September 17th. As you can see, I'm chilly. I'm wearing a sweater. Um, I'm going to share screen with you guys. What we're going to go through today. So, as I've been saying, you guys have a test tomorrow called the first quarter assessment. Quick reminders: we're gonna go through Quizlet today to review. First quarter assessment is tomorrow, and the next Tuesday, you can pick up your kitchen equipment. And originally, I had mentioned that equipment would come back to school when we start back, so that could be your personal tools. But then I was told that if you come and pick that up, just leave it at your house. We're not going to bring it back to school as of right now. So, because we don't have storage for 170 kits. Okay, so without further ado, what this is going over is it just pulls, it's 30 questions. It's just pulling stuff from each chapter we've gone through. So chapter 6 with the intro to food safety, chapter 7 with hygiene and cleanliness, chapter 8 with the flow of food. And so with the safety part, I'll go through it with you, but I just wanted to just recap of, some of the hazards, chemical, physical, oh my gosh, I'm biological. So that's where that goes. And then with the flow of food, we go through just a couple temperatures, just to remind you, like, oh man, what's this need to be? These are things I should, when we able to hand out some of you guys, just give you a chart that says fish has to be cooked to this, meat or chicken has to be cooked to this. It's a lot easier, so you can just look up and like, oh yeah, this needs to be this temperature. Cooking terms, tools, and equipment. There's a couple things about pots and pans, knives, why we use a certain pan for something, why we use a particular knife for something. Scrolling through here, there's always pre-preparation techniques and cooking methods. There's a lot about, there's not a lot, there's a couple questions about, dry heat cooking, moist heat cooking, okay? So, and then, actually pulled stuff like that you did yesterday. There's a question from yesterday on there. So without further ado, it's, you click on this right here. It says Intro to Culinary Arts First Quarter Assessment, okay? Click on this. For some reason, my computer won't connect to Quizlet, but here's mine. I'll send you guys the link in a message as well. So you can just click right here. It says Intro to Culinary Arts First Quarter Assessment. This will take you to Quizlet. Okay, so if you've never used Quizlet, it's pretty cool. You can do flashcards. There's a learn section, a writing section, so you can type things out, spell, and a test. All right. This one's pretty, I've had major success with people when I taught the Pro Start level 2. I would make a Quizlet with a little over 100 questions on it, and every student I had who used this would pass the Pro Start because they'd sit there with their phone, while they're passing periods, or when they had downtime at home, they would just sit there and go through this. Okay, so what you do is, here's the flashcard. Where does E. coli come from? You can just think about it, click on it. Fecal matter or poop. Then hit next. What are some TCS foods? TCS means time and temperature controlled for safety. So which foods would go bad if they were left out? So you think about that. If I went to the grocery store, what would go bad if I didn't put it in the refrigerator? Raw chicken, cheese, and deli meat. Okay, go to the next question. One example of a physical contaminant that could get into your food is, so physical contaminant that could get into your food. Biological is something that happens naturally, so your food gets moldy. Chemical is something that shouldn't be in your food, something that shouldn't be in your food that gets in there. That could be, or that's a chemical base. So that could be hand sanitizer dumps over and that goes on the food, that is a chemical contaminant. Physical is something physically falls into the food. That could be a fingernail. What does the internal temperature have to be for a stuffed turkey to be safe? So if you remember, there's a specific temperature for all poultry. Poultry includes chickens, turkeys, buzzard, bald eagle, whatever you're, not bald eagle, but whatever bird you are cooking. This also goes towards anything that is stuffed. So if you're stuffing a pork chop, typically the pork chop doesn't have to be 165 degrees, but if it has stuffing in it, that stuffing needs to get up there that high. Well, mainly with poultry. So remember, poultry alone has to be 165. The internal temperature of that stuffing in the middle also has to be 165. How long does leftover food stay safe in the refrigerator? If you cook mac and cheese or spaghetti and meatballs today, when do you need to throw that out? 1 week is the limit, as long as it's not sitting out for a long time either. All right, true or false? In an oven, the broiler heat flame comes from the bottom. So is that true or false? Like when you have your oven, the box, you put the meat in there. Well, actually, it doesn't even have to be in the oven. A broiler cooks from what side? Cooks, oh, it's false. So it says from the bottom. If you're cooking from the bottom, that could be a grill, something else. Broilers always cook direct heat from the top. What makes the saute pan special in order to be able to toss the product? So when you're flipping it, remember, let's look. Yeah, curved interior edge. That's what I was doing right here. If it was straight up and down, like a 90, you go to throw that food, it's just gonna smack right into the wall. But when it has a nice curved lip, it flips. Which knife is considered the all-purpose knife with multiple uses? The chef's knife. That's the one knife they say you have to have in your toolkit. Okay, so this is Quizlet. So you can go through here. Also, you can go down, and here's the terms right here. Okay, so you can just read. Okay, what are these? Here's the answer. You have it read out loud to you. Listen.
What are some TCS foods? TCS means time and temperature controlled for safety. So which foods would go bad if they were left out? Raw chicken, cheese, deli meat.
Okay, let's try this again. Okay, ready?
Which answer includes only moist heat cooking methods? Simmer, poach, shallow poach, boil.
Okay, so you can sit there and go through and have this person speak to you the whole time. Or you click on the pencil. Oh, that's for me. Never mind, you can't click on the pencil. Sorry, it's just popped up on mine, so I thought I'd show it to you. Okay, so you could go through here and study like this. Just read these, go through, read the question and get the answer. Read the question, get the answer. Then you could do the right. This one, all animal products. What is this? Oh, that one's kind of goofy. That's giving you the answer, not the question. But I would suggest go just do the test, because on the test, how long does leftover food stay in the fridge? You can type out the answer. Which milk has 37% more protein than cow's milk? Type out the answer. That one's pretty good. Then it does this where you can match them, multiple choice. So what this does is it gives you, it doesn't grade you. Like I don't go back here and check your grade on this, but it can give you an easy way to study, okay? And then here's a multiple choice too. But there's several different little tools on this thing you guys can use. So that's the basis of what I wanted you to do. Let's go back to page set. And let's scroll through here. So you guys will recognize these. When making carnitas, I needed to fry the meat after it was braised. Why did I braise the meat the day before? And that's a question that you guys saw the video What is the purpose of frying the meat after it's already cooked? Why do you remove the proteins from butter to make clarified butter? Where does cholesterol come from in our food? That was this one that says all animal products. I don't know why it just said all animal products. I should have asked you the question. Why did I need to add oil to the meat or to the chicken before adding the seasoning? In dry heat cooking, when broiling in an oven, oh, that's the other one. When I slice the tri-tip roast, what direction do I need to cut it? What happens when you take your blanched food and put it in an ice bath? What types of meat do you typically use for stewing? It says wick. Which answer includes only dry heat cooking methods? True or false? Steaming loses all nutritional value of a product. True or false? Braising should be done only for small cuts of meat. True or false? What does pasteurization do to milk when it's processed? What causes traditional blue vein cheese to mold in caves? Also makes the cheese blue veined. What animal does traditional Italian mozzarella come from? What used to cause the air bubbles or air pockets created in Swiss cheese? And in English breakfast, what are kippers? When making traditional French toast, what type of bread is traditionally used? Traditional English black pudding is actually sausage made with animal's blood added to the mixture. True or false? Which mammal has 37% more protein than cow's milk? Which mammal milk had 37% more protein than cow's milk? What is one example of a chemical contaminant that could be found in a kitchen? Okay, so that's 30 questions. That's here for you guys to use. Just a learning tool. I would suggest you do it a couple times, go through it. And then tomorrow, you guys can't see this yet, but tomorrow, right above, I'll go through it tomorrow too. Where's the assessment? Tomorrow, the assessment will pop up on here. So you guys will be able to see that. It'll say, I'll show it to you tomorrow. But so that's what I want you guys to go through. It's just a quick assessment to see how far you guys have gotten. Just to, rattle your brain a little bit. This is going to be multiple choice. It's going to be multiple attempt. I'm not trying to trick you, and I'm not trying to get you to get a bad grade. I just know the more times you take it, the more you're going to remember it. So I want everyone to do good with this, just to get you prepared to go into Culinary Arts 1 and 2 next year. So, all right. So that's what we have for today. I will stay on with the class. So if you guys do have more questions for me, I'll be there. Have a good day.